Hello everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to show you some very interesting effects you can do with your model airplane. This is software in combination with a contour GPS camera that you can superimpose this information in real-time flight time. Here's the setup. This is what we call a bird at time. You can buy one on eBay for about $169 today. Now I modified mine to have a power pod just to make it life a little bit easier in flying. Now here's a close-up of the power pod. It's just simply made of a piece of 1/4 inch plywood. It has a 2-ounce gas tank. It also has a servo for throttle control. Now this is an OS 10 and it's a perfect combination for this airplane. Okay, let's look at the camera itself. It weighs about 5 ounces. It's a contour GPS camera. You can buy them used on eBay for around $200 or new at about $400. It has a built-in GPS data logger, and I'll show you how all this system kind of combines to make it work. As you see here, this is the camera I mounted. Of course, I had to add about 1 1/4 ounces to the tail to balance it out. Here's the information that I'm superimposing on it today for you. On the left is ground speed. Don't get that confused with airspeed. At the top is your compass heading, and on the right hand side is your altimeter. Please note we're about 600 feet above sea level, so 600 feet is actually 0 feet above the ground, and you'll see that in just a moment. One thing I wanted to let you know is you don't actually have to buy a contour GPS camera to make all these effects. You can buy a very cheap data logger for about 50 bucks. If you look into the YouTube description that I have, you'll find a link to a very lightweight GPS data logger that you can use. The other item you're going to need is dashware.net software. Just take a look at it. You can try it free for a while. It's about 50 bucks, but I just go ahead and buy it and start exploring what you can do with it. One thing for sure is the camera does weigh about 5 ounces and it's pretty good size. You can actually use any video camera, any of the micro video cameras, super featherweight ones, whatever, and use that and combine it with the GPS data logger using this dashware software, and you can do the same effect just like that. Very simple. I tell you, I really like this glider kit. It's fantastic. It's old school. This is a glider that I had 25 years ago. It's just rudder elevator. That's it. Of course, I added the power pod to make it a little bit easier to fly. The kit's ARF, so it only really takes maybe a few hours, 5 or 6, 7 hours probably, to build the whole airplane. It comes completely covered, has a fiberglass fuselage. It also has a wingspan of about 10 feet, and it comes in 3 parts. You can also see some of my build and flight reviews with this glider in some of my other videos that you can see later. You know, this is a great hobby, and it's fun trying to test things that you really don't have any idea how it really works. And a lot of times you don't need to know how it works. You just kind of have to put the puzzle together and make the pieces work. That's basically all I did. Now if you look at the altimeter, we're actually about 900 feet above the ground. Remember, it started out at 600 feet, so 600 feet was actually 0 feet above the ground, and we're still climbing. I think on this actual flight I got to about 1,000 feet above the ground, maximum height. So if you're really interested, just go back and look at some of my other videos. You'll see the flight review on the bird of time here, and you can get it from eBay for about $169. That's really a good deal. You couldn't build it for that. And just think of all the time you're saving. It's a little bit heavier than an all-wood balsa glider, but that's okay. And what's cool about the power pod, it's just an easy way to get up in the air and fly. And now we're at a point where the engine is off. Remember, it had a 2-ounce gas tank, and if you find a little lift and throttle back, I can fly for 30 minutes, even longer, on 2 ounces of fuel. Pretty cool. Okay, we're starting to work our way down. We're about 300 feet or so above the ground. You'll notice on the left, that's ground speed. That's not airspeed. So if you're going into the wind, it's going to show a lot less speed. And if you're going downwind, it's going to show higher. It's not airspeed, so don't get that confused. On the Contour GPS camera, it has a 135mm lens, so it's wide angle, but it's not really so wide that it distorts, as you can plainly see in the video here. Okay, now it looks like I'm about 250 feet above the ground, so I'm kind of working my way back toward the landing site. Of course, down there to the left is an apartment complex that just recently developed and kind of took away some of our airspace. I think a lot of us have gone elsewhere to fly. We used to fly at Renner Field here for many, many years, but it's slowly starting to develop and it'll be gone pretty soon. Okay, looks like we're working our way down even further, about 200 feet now off the ground. I'm working back over the field. What I like to do is just kind of circle until I get to a point where I am on the downwind leg for a final approach. One thing interesting, I'm still flying old school frequency 55. I have about 15 airplanes ready to fly, and there's really been no need for me to change over. Now that everybody's gone to the other systems, my frequency is pretty much clear all the time. Not an issue. So I'm going to stay old school until I can't do it anymore. Alright, this looks like we're still working our way down here. About 125 feet to go. Look out for that apartment complex. Don't need to run into that. Thank you very much. Okay, now we got about 100 feet to go. Looks like I'm setting it up on the downwind leg now. Got a little bit of turbulence there. Whoa, look out. And when I made this turn here, I didn't realize how close I was to the trees. But you'll see how pretty close I get to them. Whoa. Coming into the final turn here. Now my speed is way high. I'm going too fast, but much I can do about it now. So I'm just going to scoot along the ground here at about 35 and make a nice soft landing. Whoa. Okay, thanks for watching. Be sure and look at my description here and you'll find some other links to like dashware.net. I'll have a link to Contour camera, the GPS camera that you can take a look at. You can buy the camera itself used on eBay, again for around $200 or about $400 new if you want to go that route. Or you can use any microlight camera, video camera, any of the super featherweight ones, and use separate data logger, GPS data logger. So everybody take care, and next time we'll see you in the air. Bye-bye.
Yeah!